In just a few seconds, we are going to show you the face of the ugly reality behind the politics that is raging in Maharashtra. This child, who is probably still in nursery school, has been handed rocks of hate. He was found marching to the drums of a divisive politics with revenge fed into his innocent mind. This video is today going viral on social media. Times Now cannot say if this video is authentic, but even if this video is part of some sort of campaign, it takes a particularly venal mind to use children as pawns for political propaganda. This is what politics has come to. I don't know if the left or the right or Dalits or people from the higher echelons in the Hindu caste system have actually put out this picture of this child. But whoever has done a disservice to the future of this country. Our netas feel no compunctions about using a secessionist like Umar Khalid, who is on record defending the rights of terrorists, defending people who want to secede from the Indian Union, and people who have attacked Parliament to spread hate, or even a child as a tool. Who should answer for this? As of now, the netas are happily passing the buck. When it comes to employing secessionists, they say no problem, because someone else on the other side has done even worse. So, for them, two wrongs make a right. Now it's come down to exploiting children. We've seen the consequences in Kashmir of exploiting children. Now, whether it is one community or the other that is relying on children to spread their propaganda and message, we have an example. We have an example in Kashmir to look towards, and that is not where we want to be. Politicians will always be politicians. You, the public, the viewer, has to make up his or her mind about what sort of politics you are voting in the next time you go and press that button on that EVM. For now, listen to this. Listen to how parliamentarians today squared up, bringing houses to a halt to justify the events, the mayhem of the last 3 days.
समाज में डिवीजन करने के लिए वहां पर महार और मराठों में फूट डालने के लिए वहां के जो कट्टर हिंदुत्ववादी हैं और आरएसएस के लोग हैं, इसके पीछे उनका हाथ है।
ब्रिटिश आए और भारत में डिवाइड एंड रूल पॉलिसी को लेकर आया। आज के दिन में ब्रिटिश के जगह पर कांग्रेस वालों ने डिवाइड एंड रूल पॉलिसी कर रहे हैं, समाज को तोड़ने का काम कर रहे हैं, समाज में विद्वेष पैदा करने के काम कर रहे हैं।
Here the Prime Minister come and make a statement. I demand, it is my demand, because he always keeping quiet. When such incidents are happening, he is not taking any action.
आज के दिन में सबका साथ, सबका विकास, ये विचार कोई सामने रख करके पूरा देश को एक साथ लेके जा रहे हैं। वो हमारे नेता नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी लेके जा रहे हैं, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी लेके जा रहे हैं।
गुजरात से ऊना में हो, महाराष्ट्र में हो, राजस्थान में हो,
नहीं होना चाहिए। आपकी भावना रखो इसमें।
हर जगह जहां जहां पर बीजेपी की गवर्नमेंट है, वहां पर ज्यादा से ज्यादा
वहां जो आग लगी है, उस आग में आग को बुझाने के बजाय आग को भड़काने का काम मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे, राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी कर रही है। मैडम, इसका हम घोर निंदा करते हैं। इसको हम बर्दाश्त नहीं, देश बर्दाश्त नहीं करेगा।
There are some fundamental questions that need to be asked on the back of what you just heard. As I told you, the most responsible MPs in Parliament today sought to reduce this into a political squabble. A whole city, a whole state brought to its knees, people held hostage, not by, and let me repeat this, not by any one individual or any one side, but a collective that are acting in concert to polarize you, the viewer. Now, who invited trouble? There it is. Let's look at the organizers first. No one, as I said, is above blame. This was a concerted effort. Now, whether it was pre-planned or not, I can't say here. That is for the inquiry that has been ordered to determine. One hopes that this inquiry will be free, impartial, fair. The organizers invited a secessionist like Umar Khalid. The impact Khalid incited hate against upper caste Hindus. His speech is there for anyone to hear. Let's look at the next. What the BJP government did. Gave secessionists like Khalid a free run. Now, in the past, the BJP has been very quick in state that it rules to ensure that individuals who it thinks can actually rouse passions like Owaisi, etc., are not allowed into that particular state. We've had many instances in the past. But here, people who have known track record of creating problems were given a podium. The impact movement for Dalit empowerment turned violent. It should not have happened. In fact, the state should have been more vigilant, and it should have been able to prevent a group of individuals from actually successfully calling a bandh and paralyzing the state and the lives of many today. Let's look at the third aspect of all of this, the opposition. It defended hate by a secessionist and an ally. The impact situation on the ground remained volatile for 3 days. All these politicians, the organizers, should have stood together and said, what is happening is condemnable. Immediately, supporters, withdraw. Let's all speak as one. Now, obviously, there are 2 or 3 big questions that arise, and they should be asked of both sides. To the opposition, why are parties using secessionists? Fundamental. Why are parties using secessionists, political freelancers, and perhaps even children to divide and rule? And to the BJP, to the other side, to the RSS, let's ask that question. Who permitted a caste of secessionists and known Maoist sympathizers to spew hate? Those are the 2 questions that represent both sides of this debate, and I'm throwing it open. Joining me this evening, Gaurav Bhatia of the Bharatiya Janata Party, M.R. Venkatesh, political analyst Shatrugn Ghosh, spokesperson of the left party, the CPM. Also with us, Mr. Sanjay Hegde, a senior advocate, Professor Ajit Khanna, human rights activist, and also Dr. Siddharth Dhende, Deputy Mayor of Pune. Now, I want to begin first with a baseline question to Mr. Bhatia. Mr. Bhatia, the need of the hour today is not to political point score. The need of the hour is to rise together as one and ensure that there is peace, greater understanding. We're not seeing that. We are seeing on your side, sir, individuals who have made hateful speeches given a free run in one state or another. And therefore, today, we have a situation that those who feel oppressed, who feel disempowered, don't trust you. Mr. Bhatia.
No, Rahul, I fully agree that it is for all stakeholders to ensure that normalcy returns. And let me say this, that I am reminded of what happened in Muzaffarnagar riots. Two communities came face to face and a person was killed, and after that more than 70 people had lost their lives. Here I would say Mr. Devendra Fadnavis has been hands-on completely, and he's taken adequate measures, like even yesterday and today more than 21,000 security personnel were deployed to ensure that things don't go out of control. A judicial probe has been ordered, and a sitting High Court judge would be probing the entire matter.
Sir, the point is that there is a pronounced lack of confidence in the BJP state government to do justice by those who are feeling today marginalized. And this is because these individuals are looking across the border in other states, and they are seeing inaction against those from your party, sir, who target the minorities. It's a fact. Let's not beat around the bush. Why should they have faith? Why should they heed the call of the Chief Minister of Maharashtra?
I'm not beating around the bush, but that's not factually correct. Let me answer you now. Let me answer you. First of all, you were speaking about Omar Khalid. Now, people who have a secessionist view or people who act against the interest of the country, we have seen how the BJP government has been strong enough to take action even against the separatists. We saw how the Congress never had the willpower.
For every
now talking about the Dalits,
for every Umar Khalid, there is a Banwari Lal single.
Narendra Modi ji.
Sir, for every Umar Khalid on your side, there is a Banwari Lal single. Now I'm asking you, sir. How can you how can you today
and for every Banwari Lal,
tell me
and for every
hate is allowed in one state but should not be allowed in the other?
By none other than the tallest leader in the BJP. Rahul, don't interrupt me like this. I got your point. Give me some uninterrupted time so that I could make my points.
Sure, sir.
For Banwari Lal, I was on Times Now yesterday and I told you that his views are not in sync with the motto of Shri Narendra Modi ji, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. From the ramparts of Red Fort, Shri Narendra Modi ji has said that it's time that we get all communities together, and that's the only way India will progress.
Okay.
The scheduled caste, the OBCs, the upper castes are all with the BJP because of the development agenda that the BJP has. And even in Maharashtra, if you look at the NCRB figures, you would clearly see that under the effective leadership of Devendra Fadnavis ji, there have been no communal riots. There hasn't been any communal tension. So it is only because the BJP is taking along people from all communities and castes. But if outsiders like Jignesh, like Omar Khalid are sent to these places to spew venom, to divide society, to actually to add fuel to fire, I think they are to be questioned for that.
We will question. But I'm also questioning you, sir, in the interest of balance and fair play. Now, I want to play out a bunch of bites, which we've heard now over the last 3 days. And let me tell you, none of these BJP MLAs have been taken to task. Listen to these bites. And then I want to go across to the other side and ask a basic question. Why are parties on the other side defending the use of secessionists, political freelancers, and perhaps even now children, if that video and that photograph are any evidence to go by, to divide and rule? Let's first play out these sound bites. This is the so-called development agenda.
जिस देश की भी जनसंख्या, मुस्लिम जनसंख्या 30% या इससे अधिक हुई है, उस देश पर मुस्लिम कब्जा हुआ है। हमारे देश में भी जो स्थिति बन रही है, आज हिंदू 2 बच्चे और 1 बच्चे पर सीमित हो गया है। हिंदू को अपने बच्चे को IAS और IPS बनाने की चिंता लगी हुई है, उसको CA और डॉक्टर बनाने की चिंता लगी हुई है, इंजीनियर बनाने की चिंता लगी हुई है। और मुस्लिम लोग केवल इस देश पर कब्जा कैसे किया जाए, इस चिंता में लगकर एक परिवार, एक दंपति 8, 10, 12, 14 बच्चे पैदा कर रहे हैं।
मैं कट्टर हिंदूवादी हूँ, ये मेरी पहचान। मैं जातिवाद में कम विश्वास करता हूँ। हमारे देश का नाम हिंदुस्तान है, अर्थात ये हिंदुओं का देश है। कुछ लानत नेताओं ने बिना दाढ़ी वालों को यहाँ रोक दिया।
और जहाँ तक देश की आबादी बढ़ती जो चली जा रही है, इस पर कहीं न कहीं अंकुश लगना चाहिए। और जब तक अंकुश नहीं लगेगा, एक जनसंख्या नीति बननी चाहिए, चीन की तरह बननी चाहिए। जिस प्रकार से चीन ने बनाया था, उसी प्रकार से हिंदुस्तान के अंदर भी बनाने की आवश्यकता है।
Yes, do minority nasbandi for development. That's the message that is coming straight from there. That's the development message we're seeing from one side. Now I'm going to the other. Dr. Siddharth Dhende, Deputy Mayor of Pune, is with us. I believe, sir, you're a member also of the RPI. I want to ask you a very basic question, sir. We're seeing parties using secessionists, political freelancers, and if this new video that is surfaced of a child who is being armed with stones to throw at enemies is true, then we have really sunk to new depths, sir, in trying to divide and rule. And I'm asking you, sir, who's to blame for this?
Okay. May I talk?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello.
Boliye.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Sir, first and foremost thing I want to tell that I am a RPI faction person and we are politically in alliance with BJP. We are ideologically not allied with them. This is the first thing which I have to tell. Now, considering the incidents which took place on 1st of Jan in Maharashtra in Pune at Bhima Koregaon, at that particular place, the incident didn't took place only because there were Jignesh or Mevani or Umar Khalid who took hello.
Yes.
At Shaniwar Wada.
Please
they had a,
go ahead.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, the incidents which took place on 1st of this Jan.
Yes.
There was a history behind that.
Okay.
On 28th of December, just in front of, or just besides the warrior statue,
yes,
in Vadugao, there is a monument of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj.
Okay.
And there is a history that this particular Sambhaji Maharaj death assassination which was done by Aurangzeb, the untouchables of Maharashtra in that particular village, Mr. Govind Mahar, he himself did the funeral process of Sambhaji Maharaj. And this particular history is written by many historians. There are multiple books written on this particular thing and this particular history. But
so
in last 8 to 10 years on,
no, are you defending
Hindu Jan Jagran Agadi?
Okay.
Yeah, they are coming in that particular election. The Hindu Jan Jagran Agadi and the other saffron groups, they are coming in that particular area and they are dividing the Marathas and Dalits at that particular area.
Now, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, one of your own allies, the RPI,
the riots which took place on the 1st of the January.
RPI, Mr. Athawale's party man is telling you that there have been people from the right who have been creating problems. What do you have to say?
No, I would just say that the probe is already on, but for him to come out and very conveniently say that, you know, there are certain people who are causing disturbance, I think if they are part of the government, they should also equally act. And also as an aware citizen. I told you what the government is doing, but Rahul, I have a point to make which is very important.
Okay.
See, when people like Omar Khalid are given a platform to spew venom, I think that is just unacceptable. And who is doing it? Jignesh Mevani. Jignesh Mevani is the same person who was taking funding from dubious organizations. Now Congress is supporting Jignesh Mevani. Rahul Gandhi is tweeting himself, you know, things that are inflammatory. He is not making an appeal to the people to, you know, remain calm and have patience. These are things that, you know, Congress, Jignesh Mevani are all said to do divisive politics. They want to divide society on the basis of religion and caste. We saw that in Gujarat also. Rahul Gandhi was showing Janayu, dividing the society on caste lines, and also for the Muslims they promised reservation.
Okay,
again dividing.
so let's go across to the other side.
No, they haven't.
Shatrup Ghosh.
All these things are an indicator that they do not believe
speaks up
in
for Umar
a
Khalid.
vibrant India, and India that
supports
believes in
him,
growth
backs
for
him.
all.
Then you also attack the right. You're running with the hounds, hunting with the hounds and running with the hare. What is going on?
of all, let me tell you, or through you, let me tell Mr. Gaurav Bhatia that Jignesh Mevani is a people's representative at this date. He has been elected by the people just the way Mr. Yogi Adityanath or Mr. Modi has been. So if Mr. Yogi Adityanath has got the right to go to Kerala or to go to Gujarat, why does Jignesh Mevani not have the right to go to Maharashtra? This is number one. Number two, to what
he has taken oath under the Constitution of India.
Sir, it also doesn't give Mr. Mevani the right to share the stage with Umar Khalid.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Mr. Shatrugh Ghosh. Umar Khalid, you know his views. Do you endorse his views? Do you believe?
Mr.
No, let me ask you.
Mr. Shivshankar.
No, since you leap to the defense of the JNU League constantly, let me ask you, sir.
I got your question.
No. I'm going to quote what he has said.
Mr. Shivshankar, I got your question.
What he has said
I got your question.
No. 1 second, Mr. Shatrugh Ghosh. Now, don't be too smart here, please. You need to pay attention. You please
it's not about 1 second. I've been waiting for 20 minutes.
No, I know.
It's not about 1 second. I've been waiting for 20 minutes.
You'll be able to contextualize your response. Now listen to this. What does Umar
Khalid say?
You asked me a question.
You asked me a question.
I'm asking you. Umar
Khalid
Khalid said this about Burhan Wani. Do you support it? And let me read out. I don't care if I fall.
Umar Khalid has said that
someone else picks up my gun and keeps on shooting. These were the words of Che Guevara, which could have been Burhan Wani's too. He compares him with a revolutionary.
What Mr. Khalid has said. Umar Khalid is not a member of the CPIM. What he has said, that is for him to decide.
Do you not defend him, sir?
That you go and ask him. I am not here to speak on his behalf.
Is he not member of?
Let me tell you what.
No. Is he not the member?
Let me answer.
Do you not defend him?
Let me answer.
No, you denounce him.
I am saying to defend Mr. Umar Khalid is not my responsibility.
No. So let me ask you. Then should Jignesh Mevani and the organizers have invited Umar Khalid? I'm asking you. Should he have invited Umar Khalid?
Whether I'm going to denounce someone, that is not for you to teach me.
No, Mr. Shatrugh Ghosh.
Whether I'm going to denounce someone or I'm going to support someone,
why should Jignesh Mevani sharing stage with Umar Khalid?
Let me ask you. Should
Jignesh
Mevani be sharing stage?
One by one. Mr. Shivshankar, you asked.
Mr.
Shivshankar, you called me to your show, you asked me a question. Now in all decency, you let me give the answer.
We are talking about who begins the provocation here.
You were talking about young minds.
No.
Being made laboratories of hatred.
Yeah, so who's turning them into laboratories of hatred?
Children.
Do you think people like Umar Khalid that have a proven track record of spreading anti-India feelings should be addressing a bunch of youth?
Country, we know.
I'm asking you.
No matter how much you try, Mr. Subramaniam, you won't be able to cover up for the RSS. You won't be able to cover up for the RSS no matter how much you try. We all know the RSS. They run
one more.
These so-called shakhas throughout the country where they give arms training to children.
Answer the basic question. Why don't you answer the basic question? Should Jignesh Mevani, Congress allies,
let me remind you that in Kerala...
1 minute. Should have he shared a stage
cannot answer the basic question unless you let me answer. I cannot answer the basic question unless you let me answer.
You don't get to the
Throughout
point.
the country, you were talking about.
Get to the
I
point.
did not raise this topic. You were talking about. I am getting to the point that you only raised. Have some patience. Let me answer. You brought up the topic, and I appreciate your concern that young minds in our country are being made political pawns that no sane person can allow. Now my question to you is, throughout the country we know that for years the RSS has been running shakhas throughout the country.
We know about the RSS. You have been saying it from every podium. You talk about this gentleman Jignesh Mevani sharing a stage with Umar Khalid. Get to the point. I'm asking you a straight question.
I think this is
about Jignesh Mevani. Jignesh Mevani is an elected MLA of the country.
He can stand with anyone.
Jignesh Mevani is an elected MLA of the country who was entered the assembly not by your mercy.
Who killed them?
Jignesh Mevani has entered the Gujarat assembly.
He has much to say.
So why would
playing a very artful game of dodging?
Why would you
when you ask them a straight question, they beat around the bush. So they have no problems if a radical Hindu right-winger incites the mobs. They have huge problems with that, but they have no problems with Jignesh Mevani sharing a stage with an individual like Umar Khalid, who has been on record supporting secession.
If Jignesh Mevani says anything,
fine, that's your choice.
If Jignesh Mevani says anything that infringes on the Indian Constitution, you show it to us.
No, please. I'm going to know your fader because you're just creating a racket. You're not getting to the point. You're dancing around the subject. Now I'm going to go straight across to Professor Ajit Khanna. Mr. Ajit Khanna, you want to get down to the root of the problem today. Let's get to the root of the problem. If you're looking for who started the fire, let's begin by asking some tough questions of the organizers. Do you agree that the organizers erred by calling an individual like Umar Khalid, by calling a judge who is known Modi beta, who has abused Modi from pretty much every platform, including one from Delhi recently? Should they have brought somebody who is a known Maoist advocate? Should they have brought somebody like Jignesh Mevani, who we know has taken money from another radical Islamist group called the PFI? Simple question to you.
Yeah, it's a very tough question that you're asking me. You're asking a wrong person. Anyway, good evening, Rahul, and good evening, my dear daughter Maya.
Good
anyway,
evening,
this is a very, yeah. Can you hear me?
I can, clearly. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is sharing a stage. BJP has no right to talk about sharing a stage with people like Jignesh Mevani and Umar Khalid. Okay, Umar Khalid has been charged with quite a few anti-national activities. Let the court decide whether he has really been anti-national. Okay, and Jignesh Mevani is an elected representative. He can go and give a speech anywhere he likes. Okay, about calling judge who is known for Modi basher or whatever. What's the problem? No, I don't like Modi. That doesn't mean I cannot share any stage with anybody.
Respond, please, Rahul.
Anyway, coming back to the problem. Excuse me, it's my time. You have taken a lot of time. Thank you very much. Yeah, coming back to the main question. Question is not about sharing the stage with X, Y, Z. It's about addressing the genuine issues at hand.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So whoever has been the victim will definitely flare up. They will definitely say what they have to say. For the last so many years they have been victimized. And now you are saying Jignesh Mevani cannot say this. They are new Peshwas. He's right. They are the new Brahmins.
Two problems.
They have been.
Now let me ask you. I asked you a very straightforward question, sir. Should Jignesh Mevani, a lawmaker who swears by the constitution of this country, be sharing a stage with a man called Umar Khalid, who made the following references about a terrorist called Burhan Wani? And I'll read out. I don't care if I fall as long as someone else picks up my gun and keeps on shooting. These were the words of Che Guevara, but could have been just been Burhan Wani's too.
Yeah.
1 minute. Burhan wasn't scared of death. He was scared of a life lived in subjugation. He detested it. He lived a free man and died a free man. I want to bring in Mr. Hegde. Mr. Hegde, you know, we can constantly talk about today the other side, the agents provocateurs, the people from various radical right-wing Hindu groups. But should we absolve ourselves of all responsibilities if we are organizers of this particular event? I think it's a fair question to ask.
This guilt by association doesn't work. I frequently sit on your debates with a lot of people whom I don't agree with. But that's the essence of our democracy, you know. We just sit, we listen to other people, and we try to say our piece. So this guilt by association doesn't work, because if you're going by guilt by association, this incident starts with two gentlemen called Shambhaji Bide and Milind Ekbote, who destroyed a Mahar place of commemoration of a brave Mahar who cremated the body of Shambhaji Maharaj. Now, with these people were seen none other than the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chief Minister of the state, Devendra Fadnavis. Now, are you going to tell me that Mr. Modi and Mr. Fadnavis are responsible for this? The essence of democracy is that all kinds of people sit together and talk, like in this debate. So each one of us is entitled to our views. Now, if a speech incites violence, then it is for the prosecution to prove it in a court of law. Or if you think that somebody is going to be a problem, then you use either section 144 of the CRPC to prevent any people gathering together, or you preventively detain people
Okay.
Like I remember a case where Mr. Togadia's banning from a state was upheld. I appeared in that matter. This is an administration which clearly had not planned. Despite the incident of the 28th, it allowed and knowing that the commemoration was to happen on the 1st of January, it did not provide adequate forces.
So
it
one
was
side,
when the celebration was attacked by the Marathas.
The other. No, 1 minute. Mr. Hegde, let me ask you a counter question. You talk about guilt by association. Let's delve a little deeper into this. Let's delve a little deeper into this. And I want to ask you, what does a secessionist, a person who has been charged under the law, have to do with the movement for Dalit empowerment? Explain to me, sir. Explain, what is the relevance? Apart from being somebody who has attacked upper caste. Listen. I will play out a bite. I'll play out a bite, sir, of what Mr. Umar Khalid said. Now, if you don't think, and you're a very smart lawyer, sir, very intelligent man, and I want to play out this soundbite of Umar Khalid. You tell me if it doesn't seem insight-worthy to you or insightful to you. I want to play it out, and then I'll come straight to you, sir. You respond. Please. Listen, let's play out Umar Khalid.
हमारे देश में ऊंच नीच की परंपरा, गैर बराबरी की परंपरा, जातिवाद की परंपरा क्या इस देश में मुसलमान लेकर आए थे, मुगल लेकर आए थे? ये मनुवादी समस्या है। मोदी साहब को हर चीज में सांप्रदायिकता फैलानी है, हर चीज के लिए हिंदू और मुसलमान में उन्माद करना है। इसलिए भी वो जातिवाद की जड़ मनुवाद में नहीं, मुगलों में वो तलाशते हैं।
Now, did you hear that, sir? Tell me.
I did hear that. You want my opinion?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. He has said nothing which somebody like Periyar or Ambedkar has not said.
Don't say somebody like, somebody like. Tell me, do you believe in a situation,
somebody like like Baba Saheb Ambedkar,
in a sensitive environment?
If you want me to quote Ambedkar,
sir, please,
chapter and verse to you, I can do that.
When you suggest that there is Manuwad driven from the ramparts of Nagpur, who are you pitting who against? Let's get two lawyers to square off.
Absolutely.
More powerful statements than this.
I think my friend Mr. Hegde has not heard the speech of Jignesh Mevani, which was completely full of hatred, was divisive, and he was spewing venom yesterday when he used the terms as Maut Ka Saudagar and other terms as well. And to share your views, to propagate your ideology is fine. But in Shriya Singhal case, the Honorable Supreme Court also had said that to incite is not acceptable, and that is not the right to express yourself. Second, I think to be sharing stage with people who have a secessionist view, and especially for a public representative who has sworn by the Constitution itself, erodes the faith of the common man. And it's also about the faith that the common man and the citizens of the country repose in public representatives, and I think that is a very serious issue. Third, I would also like to say that earlier these celebrations were always done and there was no violence, but this time in a very calculated way, because the Congress is fast losing ground nationally, they planned this. Jignesh Mevani was there spewing venom, and then Umar Khalid like a cherry on the cake. So this makes it very evident that now it is about dividing the country on the basis of caste and religion, and that is something that we would condemn strongly.
Let me get in Mr. Hegde to quickly respond to you, and I want to bring in Mr. M.R. Venkatesh right after. Mr. Hegde, you want to respond? You're raising your hand. Respond, sir.
Unlike Gaurav Bhatia, I don't wear two hats. I am not a lawyer and a politician.
Okay.
I am only telling you what the law is, and if you want the law, if you think that the law covers this speech, go right ahead and prosecute. I will guarantee you that it will fail, and it will only be one more example of using state machinery to suppress free speech. Mr. Bhatia, I did not interrupt you. I would expect the same courtesy.
Okay, have you finished your point, Mr. Hegde,
No,
or do you have still one more point to make?
Okay. All I said was don't be a judge.
Okay. Okay, quickly make your point, Mr. Hegde. I want to bring in Mr. M.R.
You are interrupting, Mr. Bhatia, please. My point is simply this, that this was a Dalit celebration of an event which occurred over 200 years ago. It has gone on peacefully in the past. Okay. This was the time when trouble was expected. Trouble did not start from the side of the celebrants. It started from the side of those who attacked the celebration.
Okay, attack the celebration, the attackers are to blame, not those who heard, who were part of the celebration.
Yes.
Okay, let me go across to M.R. Venkatesh.
Yes.
M.R. Venkatesh,
absolutely.
Charges are being thrown about.
Yes, Rahul, first and foremost, whether you belong to the left or the right or the center, top, bottom, wherever you are, one needs to condemn violence, and in a democratic framework there is no place for violence. But having said that, people like Umar Khalid and others from JNU campus who said Bharat ke tukde tukde kar denge, I'm really appalled that he is being allowed by the Fadnavis administration to come into Maharashtra. I do not know what is the process in this country when you swear to break this country, tukde tukde kar denge, and people like Mr. Hegde support it as the fundamental right and call it as a democratic process and quote the very constitution which he is subverting. I am not wearing the hat of a lawyer. I am not talking through it either. Let us be very clear, people like Omar Khalid need to be booked, and the law has to be shown its potency, and the administration where we have elected and the BJP government is falling short of the expectations of the people, that whether it is the right or the left, I don't care. I don't care whether he is an RSS worker or a Gorakshak or whether he is a person who is studying in JNU. The most important thing is for the administration to have sworn in, who has sworn by the constitution to act by the constitution.
Okay.
Be that as it may, people like Merwani who have been elected and who have, no, just a minute, I have been waiting for 40 minutes, so let me be given 40 seconds more.
Go ahead.
Please understand, who have been elected through a democratic process yesterday are quoted telling the public that let us settle all our disputes in the streets through wars in the streets. If this is not incitement, if this is not subversion of the constitution, if this is not constitutional perfidy, I do not know what will survive in a court of law that, as a hate speech. I strongly urge Gaurav Bhatia ji that if you have to walk the talk, the time is now. Please understand that the people do not want violence, people want progress, people want pragati, people want development. And this type of filibustering by your opponents and taking the nation for a ride Rahul. Is simply not acceptable, especially in the financial capital of this country. So it is time that you take some strong action and send a message that development there is a precondition, and that is peace, and that has to be upheld at any cost.
You should not have permitted a caste of secessionists and known Maoist sympathizers to spew hate. That's the simple line. Mr. Bhatia, quick response. I need to move on.
Rahul, can I respond, please?
Yes, please. Quickly.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with what Venkatesh ji has said, and I think that's a very, very positive remark to make. And also I would like to share with him and all the viewers that more than 100 arrests have been made, FIRs have been registered, judicial probe has also been ordered, and effective steps are being taken. The point that I wish to also drive home is that yes, the government has to ensure that no untoward incident takes place, but at the same time political parties also have some responsibility towards the society and people of this country. We don't want political leaders enjoying stature of Mr. Rahul Gandhi to tweet something that is offensive, that is divisive, that is full of hatred because they are losing political ground. I think an appeal from Mr. Rahul Gandhi would have held more, but then he decided to, divide rather than to unite.
Okay.
And And
we
one more
know
point,
that politicians play these games.
sided with the Congress.
We know that politicians play these games,
Dalit.
but today in 24/7 news television, the consequences are broadcast live back to you. These are the consequences. Can we continually afford to play with fire? Fundamental question. I hope Parliament actually debates that. Not on who actually started the fire, but who's going to douse it and how we ensure that it stays doused. We move on. Because Parliament was once again in focus today. History was supposed to dawn in the Rajya Sabha because we were told that the Triple Talaq Bill would be introduced and passed. Well, unfortunately, we have seen that it has been deferred to tomorrow because the House had to be adjourned because of a massive row that broke out. Because the government of the day felt that the Congress was trying to derail the bill, violated the rules of the House by bringing a motion in which would have pushed the government to transit this particular bill to a standing committee where it would have been dissected and then later on taken up for consideration in the monsoon session for passage. The government felt that that was not on because the judges of the Supreme Court want a legislation in place post haste. Here is what transpired in Parliament.
Now, sir, my notice has been circulated and I move the following motion. That this House, being strongly committed to women empowerment and women's rights, refers the Muslim Protection of Marriage Bill as passed by the Lok Sabha to a select committee of the Rajya Sabha.
This practice of an instant divorce was declared to be unconstitutional. House must apply its mind why it should not be referred. There is nothing mechanical that Mr. Anand Sharma has moved the motion, it should be referred to a select committee. The whole country is watching that in the other House you supported the bill and in this House you are trying to derail the bill.
संविधान में आर्टिकल 80 और 81 को अगर आप पढ़े, दो सदनों की हमारे संरचना की गई कि अगर एक सदन कहीं गलती करे तो दूसरा सदन उसको स्क्रूटनाइज कर ले। 80-81 में बिल्कुल साफ दिया।
Tomorrow, if parliamentary committees are appointed, in whichever house a party has a majority, everybody of that particular party will constitute 100% of the committee. This has never happened since 1952 in this parliament. For the first time, breaking all parliamentary convention and precedents.
Okay, well, the basic charge is that in 4 days, all those on the side of the opposition that actually batted to pass the Triple Talaq Bill or voted alongside it in the Lok Sabha have done a U-turn. What prompted the U-turn? What has changed in 4 days? Let's open that out. Gaurav Bhatia, the BJP, stays with us. Vasundhara Pathak Masoodi is a lawyer who remains with us. Also Sabha Naqvi, senior journalist. I want to bring in Vasundhara Pathak Masoodi first. You must be disappointed, Ms. Masoodi, but there are many people from the opposition who are saying that the bill is legally infirm, that it places undue pressure on the litigant, who would be the woman in this particular case, to prove that she is being divorced instantaneously.
See, there are plethora of excuses one can make if you are not intended to do a particular thing. And if we go by such kind of an argument, then we could have never got the divorce laws in place, we could have never got the Domestic Violence Act in place. There are plenty of arguments in or against a particular act. So we need to see, at the moment we need to gauge the intensity of the problem and the momentum it has created insofar as instant triple talaq is concerned. I believe personally it's a high time we must put our heads together and indulge into a serious mind-boggling as to why not to bring this bill on the table of the House and pass it to make it an enactment so that our Muslim sisters others are being benefited and are not being subjected to the violation of their fundamental right.
So are you suggesting that the opposition is against granting equality, gender justice to Muslim women? Is that what you're saying? Obviously. Let me bring in Mr. Hegre. Mr. Hegre, the opposition today on a point of principle and order.
No, you cannot quote me as to, you cannot quote me. You cannot quote me as to say that it is an obvious outcome of what I said. What I said is that we need to have the bill in place, and it's better, it's better to have more discussions, but I really do not say as to someone is against equality, someone is in favor.
I
do not wish to get indulged into the
need of the hour, get it done.
Tug of war.
Immediate need of the hour, get it done. Mr. Hegre.
It is an immediate need of the hour, it must be done.
Are we deferring gender justice by opposing? Okay, fine. The passage of this bill in the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Hegre.
No, I'm sorry, the previous speaker. The point is this. It is sometimes better to have some consideration rather than push through legislation just because you have a parliamentary majority. You must, there are lots of legislation which has passed one house but has gone to a select committee. It has come back better. There's also a political truth which is not being stated, that the BJP lacks a majority in the Rajya Sabha currently. 6 months down the line, when the matter, if the matter is referred to the parliamentary committee and comes back with amendments, the BJP will be in a much better position to pass it. This is how the matter lies. Now, speaking for myself, however, I have grave doubts about this bill. I don't think it does anything for gender justice. I don't think it does anything for Muslim women, Muslim men, or Muslim families. All that it does is it criminalizes, it adds another criminal section under which Muslim men can be sent in, even on the complaint of people who are not Muslims. I see a very dangerous precedent.
So this unfairly targets
tomorrow,
Muslim men. That's what Mr. Hegre is saying.
Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute and I'll finish my point. 1 minute, I'll finish my point. Tomorrow, consider that there is a government which says that caste is very bad in Hinduism. Anybody who has a surname which asserts his caste is committing a criminal offense, and some other community can also complain about it. This is the intrusion of criminal law into the personal space. It is pretty
the analogy is self-explanatory. Let me go across to Sabha Naqvi. Sabha Naqvi, we have an issue here. Mr. Jaitley got up in Parliament and said that the reason why it should not be referred is that when the practice was declared unconstitutional, 2 of the judges held it as unfair and used their extraordinary power to suspend it for 6 months, which expire on the 22nd of February. So the need of the hour is to pass this.
So I think Mr. Jaitley, being a very fine lawyer and a parliamentarian, is also making an impassioned political speech. He is making a point for the BJP's version of the bill, which I am completely opposed to the practice of the triple talaq. But this bill is worrying by taking a civil issue into the criminal domain in this age. We also know that the Bharatiya Janata Party genuinely has no real love lost for the Muslim community. So even if they're doing the right things, they have the wrong reasons. We've just heard a lot of the MPs, MLAs, their lawmakers say all sorts of things.
I have a question.
You know,
yeah, Mr. Bhatia wants to respond to
so that is the context in which this is happening.
Rahul,
now, the most interesting to my mind is the dilemma of the Congress Party.
I strongly object to the words used by Sabha Naqvi because
can I finish
again
my
she's
point?
doing what all Muslim men have been doing. I think Rahul asked me to speak, Sabhaji, and you got your time. Let me respond now.
Well, I was finishing a point about the Congress Party, which I think is historically historically important, if I may finish it.
Rahul, you please let us know
to the point.
who is
What's
expected to
the point about the Congress? We were on the BJP, so quickly, why are we bragging in the Congress? Is it opportunism on the Congress's part or not?
I'm saying it also. The Congress is obviously in a bind because the whole growth of the BJP is traced back to the overturning of the Shahbano judgment by the Congress.
So it has to balance its political equation.
So they're in a bind about that, and their political dilemma is interesting.
No, I'm glad that you're being honest.
Their political dilemma is interesting.
I'm glad that you're being honest about the games that are being played politically. Yes, Mr. Bhatia, you've got 1 minute to defend this, and I move on.
Yeah, Rahul, first of all, I find it very objectionable that Sabhaji again looks at the issue not as a gender justice issue, but as an issue pertaining to one religious community. And I think she's lost the essence of the bill. Second, I think we all know that Muslim women have waited for 70 long years to get their fundamental rights enforced, and this is an issue of gender equality and justice for the BJP, as the law minister has said. The Congress supporting the bill in the Lok Sabha, not moving any amendment, not making any suggestion, in 4 days makes a U-turn because of its appeasement politics. And I think the law minister made it very clear that in spite of the fact that the Supreme Court has termed triple talaq as unconstitutional, there are hundreds of Muslim women who are still suffering, and therefore the urgency to enact this law.
Well, okay, it's coming down to in a binary appeasement versus
I have a small question.
proficiency of this law. We leave it at that. At 10 o'clock this debate will continue.